Okay, so if you've ever worked on a software team, you know the pain, right? Managing code with multiple people, working on multiple features all at the same time, it can get chaotic and fast. But what if I told you there's a clear, structured roadmap that can keep everyone in sync and your project right on track? Let's dive in.
It almost always starts with something that looks totally innocent, like this cryptic error message, which I pulled from a real GitHub issue. Someone's just trying to get their tools set up, but this status 128 thing, it's really just a symptom of a much, much bigger problem. The natural friction that comes with trying to build things as a team. And that's the thing. Without a clear system in place, collaboration can just feel like, well, chaos. You're asking, who's working on what? Is this feature actually ready to go? Wait, why did the production build just break? This is exactly why having a structured workflow is so absolutely critical. It's not just about dodging error messages. It's about building a process that's predictable and that can actually scale.
And look, this isn't just a hunch or a feeling. We're talking real numbers here. A survey by JetBrains found that a staggering 42% of software teams run into project delays specifically because of misaligned branch structures. I mean, that is a massive blow to productivity, and it all comes down to a lack of organization. All right, so how do we actually climb out of this mess? Well, say hello to GitFlow. It's a robust, battle-tested Git branching model that gives us that exact roadmap we've been looking for. It's specifically designed to bring a sense of order and clarity to the whole development lifecycle. So, what is GitFlow, really? At its heart, it's a pretty strict branching model that's built around the idea of a project release. It was actually created way back in 2010 by a guy named Vincent Driesen. And his goal was to provide this solid framework for managing bigger projects that have scheduled releases. The real key here is that it gives very specific, predictable jobs to different branches. Okay, to really get GitFlow, you gotta understand its core branches. And I love this analogy. Think of them as the highway system for your entire project. Every single road has a specific purpose, a clear direction, and there are rules for how traffic is supposed to move. This makes sure everything gets to its final destination safely and on time. First up, we've got the main branch. You might know it as master in older projects. This is your pristine public highway. It holds the official production-ready code. And here's the golden rule, and you gotta remember this. Main has to be stable and ready to deploy at all times, always. Committing directly to it, that's a huge no-go. Now, running right alongside main, you've got the develop branch. Think of this as the main construction artery. This is the central hub where all the new features get integrated and tested together. So while main shows what's live in production, develop shows you the very latest state of what's coming in the next release. All right, let's put it all together and look at the whole system. Besides main and develop, you've got three other types of branches. You have feature branches for all new development, release branches for getting a new version ready for production, and hotfix branches for those emergency, gotta-fix-it-now production issues. See the structure? Feature and release branches always start from develop, but hotfix branches come straight from main. This separation of concerns, that's the magic of GitFlow. Okay, so theory is one thing, right? But let's get practical. How does a brand new feature actually move through this whole system? Let's follow its journey from the very first line of code all the way to its final integration. It's actually a really clean three-step dance. First, you start a new feature branch right off of develop. This totally isolates your work from everything else. Second, you just do your thing. You code, you commit, you repeat, all on this safe, dedicated branch. And finally, once a feature is totally done and tested, you finish it. This merges all your hard work back into develop and, poof, automatically deletes the feature branch. It's simple, it's clean, and it's isolated. Now, we're not going to walk through every single branch type, but here's the key takeaway. Release and hotfix branches follow this exact same pattern. They have their own dedicated, short-lived life cycles. This whole structure is designed to protect that all-important main branch at all costs, and to make sure that every single deployment is a deliberate, stable act. So GitFlow sounds pretty awesome, right? But here's the thing, it's not magic. A tool is only as good as the person or the team using it. So let's talk about the common pitfalls that teams fall into, and more importantly, how you can avoid them to get this right. And this is a huge one. Seriously. A report from Slack found that 59% of teams get blocked simply because their process guidelines aren't clear. You can have the most powerful workflow in the world, but if your team doesn't agree on the rules, it's useless. Documentation is your absolute best friend here.
A simple contributing.md file in your project can save you countless hours of pain. So let's run through some of the classic traps people fall into. Inconsistent branch naming just creates confusion. Skipping dedicated release branches, that's a recipe for unstable deployments. Forgetting to sync up with develop before you start, get ready for some massive merge conflicts. And leaving old feature branches hanging around after you merge them, it just clutters up your project. The goal is to keep it simple, consistent, and clean. Okay, this is a question I hear all the time. Should we use GitFlow or that other thing, GitHub Flow? And the answer really depends entirely on your release cycle. GitFlow is purpose-built for projects that have scheduled releases and need to support multiple versions. Think desktop software or mobile apps. On the other hand, GitHub Flow is streamlined for continuous deployment, where you might push to production multiple times a day. That's super common for web apps. So let's just bring this all home. What's the bottom line? Ultimately, GitFlow isn't just a set of commands you type. It's really a philosophy. It provides a shared, structured roadmap that helps teams manage the natural complexity that comes with building software together. It's about turning that development chaos into a predictable, truly collaborative process.
And that really leaves us with one last question, and I want you to think about this for your own team. Take a hard look at your current process. Is your workflow truly preventing chaos by providing real clarity and structure, or is it maybe just organizing the chaos a little bit better? The answer to that question can make all the difference.